feeling.
All right, so I swear that I vlog probably almost every other day. And I swear every time I'm vlogging, there's someone in my neighborhood mowing the lawn. But anyways, I can't get the 240 back here yet because we obviously have a dumpster where I threw away a shit ton of Skyline and 240 parts. I am trying to make it a productive day, so I cut out the livery for kind of this visualization that I have for what I want the 240 to look like. And instead of modeling it on the car that isn't here, I decided to lay out the wheels, lay out the skirts, lay out the canards, lay out where I'm gonna put stuff and get a visualization of it. Pretend this is a tail light of a 240. Oh, I'm excited. It'll be cool. So I'm gonna throw a couple of these stickers on just to give myself something to do. The skirts are in really bad condition, but I'm just gonna rattle can them black for now because I'd like to paint this car soon. But anyways, the white, black, and red accents I think are gonna be really cool on this car. Now, if anyone remembers my livery before, I'll put a picture here. I did red with chrome outlining, and I wanted to do something a little bit more simplistic and not as flashy. Now, the chrome was an absolute pain in the ass to get off of the skirt. You can see where it left like this haze to it. We used a 3M like reddish sparkle color for the branding before, and I took that off like no big deal. Then I went to take the chrome off and it was like peeling off aluminum foil that was stuck to it, and all the adhesive had stuck to the side skirt itself. So it took me like 45 minutes to just like slowly scrape the adhesive off with my thumb, and it was awful. It left a big old sticky ball about that big. All right, tires came in. Now the question is if I will find someone to mount these and those so we can drive the Skyline on Thursday. I'm officially a YouTuber, I think. I just got a Gorilla Pod because I went to go, it was a complete impulse purchase, but I have a lot of shaky cam footage in my vlogs because of my little tiny scrawny hand running around and stuff. But I was gonna say, I went over to see T-Man because he had keys to the shop, and I'm gonna go there to work on the car right now. And I bought a Gorilla Pod, so now I'm officially a vlogger. And I bought a helmet for the first time of being affiliated with drifting in 5-10 years. So where you guys left off, I've driven the car, and then I found out that I needed a new valve cover gasket and was leaking, and we're just gonna address a few of those things today. My car is completely a truck right now. I have a little toolbox, I have some RTV in there, I got the strut tower brace. Let's head that way to the shop and we'll go work on that 240. Wow, dude. Ah, look, we got a little drive cam. This is great. I'm gonna be really self-conscious looking at myself in the end of that wide angle, but that's pretty sick. So I guess a couple of things. You can't tell, my alignment's still really, really off. Oh wow, it's gonna be bumpy as hell on that thing. But I don't care, this is the coolest thing, you guys. I'm so glad, this just paid for itself already. That little tiny gasket on the back of the gas tank that sits above the fuel pump assembly, that's like warped and gotten really, really, really shrunk. So my entire car smells like 93 octane, and it's the worst thing on the planet. I hope you guys can hear that. It's really hard reminding myself I can't pick my nose right now. So, Omaha obviously doesn't have any bridges, right? So, or tunnels I should say. There's this one tunnel that you can hit under I-80, and that's it. And I have to time it right, because if not, I'll catch a red light and not get anything. Ah, that wasn't bad. Nice second gear. It looks super nice in here with all this light. I've never worked on this car or in this shop space when there's been light here, so that's kind of nice. All right, so basically the main things I want to address today are if that valve cover is going to be pissing oil, and if I start it, will it still be pissing oil? I'm going to take off the valve cover and reseal it, and then going to see if it can get up to temp. I'm going to see if it overheats when it idles, and I kind of want to drive it today. Well, it's still there, so that's good. Now the fun part is, how many of these little things will I lose? Because guess what, you guys? I always lose stuff. I think everyone that watches this channel knew that, though. So on an SR20, with most valve covers too, you have this little grommet, it's like rubber, and then you have a metal washer on top of the little 10 mil. And I've thought about in the past taking off that heat wrap, but I hear mixed reviews on it. So you guys let me know in the comments if that's something I should take off or not. And last time I did this, the hood was off. So that made it way, way easier. But it's not terribly difficult to get under here because there's only a couple inside. Me and T-Man were talking about painting this. He really is gassed on painting the valve cover some better color than this like blurple color. So I'll probably have him do that. Maybe we'll do a vlog about that in the future once this thing's running. Shout out to Ryan for the new coil pack bolts because they're 10s as well. Makes it taking this valve cover off really, really easy. And I just learned that SR20 stock coil packs are threaded, so you can just leave that bolt in there when you take the coil packs out. I'm gonna move these guys and just lay them on the header for now. I don't really like to dangle them with all the weight of the wire, but that's okay. I'll be real with you. This might just be leaking because it's pinched, and I fucking definitely didn't tighten these up enough. All right, so then after that, this thing's ready to just pop right out. Really nervous to crack this thing open, honestly. Wow, okay, yeah. Ah, there we go, yep. Looks like it wasn't sealed in there right. You can see all the oil kind of dripping down the side there. So just wiped up the big chunks that go inside of the valve cover gasket that is around the spark plugs, but everything else was really, really clean in there. I just had to give it a quick wipe. There's those Tomei rocker arm stoppers in there. This has some RTV that was like halfway through, and I'm almost wondering if I should put other stuff there. I don't know, probably one of the boys are gonna watch this and roast me for it, but yeah, I found out why it was leaking. Opened it up and it was just snapped like that. Looks like a little snake. Luckily, I have another one. It like isn't brand new, so I'm hoping it just goes on fine, but we'll see. These were super, super dirty, just because this thing must have been sitting and I had it hung up. So I'm just gonna take a quick rag and wipe down kind of the little spots in the crevices where it does meet the valve cover itself, just because I don't want any risk for, you know, some sort of chunk of dirt to get in there, like a glob of oil, to not let it seal properly. I had this one and didn't have to wait for it to be shipped, so I'm pretty fortunate about that. Knowing my luck though, this will probably leak and all this work is for nothing. All right, now just gonna put this guy back in place here. Cool. There's that guy. And this guy I'm just gonna leave on the spark plugs itself. Really worried about this one leaking oil, so I'm not actually going to move it, and it's really sturdy on there, and I don't want that to break. So I'm gonna wipe that off really quick. So yeah, let's throw it back on. And I like to grip it by the flanges. That way, when I place it on, it doesn't actually move that gasket around. Yeah, that's set way better than the last time I did this, so that's cool. So from there, just gonna go ahead and throw those grommets in the washers with the nut back on these. I wanna get a catch can for that too, because I'm not really feeling that little filter, but me and Ryan just did that because we kinda not had to, but it's all we had. By the time this is done, I'm gonna be a pro and know what order they need to be done in the first place. Now throw the coil packs back in. And then a lot of people don't run these, but I like them, so you just throw one of these back in there and you're good to go. And threw that hella tweaked strut tower brace in there, but it looks kind of neat. Sorry T-Man, I'm not painting that valve cover today. I want to drive this at some point soon. Now that I have that valve cover put back on, thinking and researching the best place to run my boost gauge. Right now it just reads vacuum instead of boost. So I've switched it from one of the throttle body pieces over. Apparently you can run it on your fuel pressure regulator if you get a tee off for it, so I'm gonna do that later. But for now I just moved it to a different nipple. Tony is here.
Hello.
and just brought me a little something something. He was like, I'll come get your tires and mount them tonight. So thank you, I love you, I don't deserve you. So we're gonna throw them on the rear of the Skyline for now, just because it's gonna be easier for to move them all home. But they're gonna go on this eventually. I don't have 5-lug hubs yet, they're still in the mail. Shoot, kids are all here. Off to school.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, let's go do that. Wow, dude, what a feeling. It's been a long time since I drove this car. I really hope Tony comes behind me because he's my hope. Oh my God, dude. We're maybe about a third of the way home. So we talked about turning the car off if it gets up to 90 degrees, which is about 210 Fahrenheit. It's been stuck at about 75 to 80 intermediately, so I'm not super worried about it. Basically, long story short, we ate a chicken sandwich and we were like, it's time. Started the car, it was still missing pretty heavy. Gonna guess it's injectors. I need to do an oil change to get that gas out of the system. Turbo spooled fine. It's, my heart's racing. It's super rad. We came home. Third gear is still bad because I didn't put that new trans on it. Other than that, it's a crazy feeling. I haven't driven this car in what? How long do you say? 2 years almost, at least? No, almost 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
So I went from driving this car literally like every single day for 5 years straight and then didn't get to drive it for the last 2 years. Skyline came along, you know, everyone got busy, we didn't have time to finish this, but now it's home. Endless thanks to any of you that supported this or helped out in this. Like, I have a way too far of a list, but obviously Russ and Jesse and Kyle and Ryan were the biggest helps in this stuff, and of course other people that I probably forgot, you know? Yeah. Like Tony today absolutely peer pressured me into driving this thing, so I can say thanks to you. Dude, all the Scrapeyard boys, anyone that was a part of this whole process, like, you know how big of a deal this car is to me and how big this engine is. I gotta get some injectors cleaned, but for now, I'm gonna end this here, but we got a 240 and it's back home. Sick, dude, thank you.